right, welcome to the Fixed Wireless Access Show. Today's episode, because one path is never enough. You know, one path is never enough. If you're an entrepreneur and you want to win, are you going to follow the path? No, you're going to make your own path. So if you're selling on Amazon, you're scaling your Shopify store, maybe you're live streaming, you're processing payments in real time. Your business lives online. It's a fact. It just lives online. And when your internet connection goes kablooey, kaput, or goes down, so does your momentum, so does your mojo, so does your stress level. Your stress level goes this, but your sales also and your reputation could go down the tubes, right? How do you fix that? How do you not get to that place? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Honestly, that is exactly what we're talking about. So, the reality is that most businesses think they're protected. They think they're protected because they have what's called redundant internet connections. But redundancy is not the same thing as diversity. And it's really important to be able to distinguish between the two, redundancy versus diversity. Remember those two words, redundancy and diversity. If both your internet circuits are running through the underground last mile conduit, it doesn't matter how many carriers you're paying, how many different points of entry into a building. It's all underground and it's all redundant and it's not a diverse connection. One backhoe, one flood, or one utility cut will take everything out. Period. Everything. Everything. There's a great sentence I'm going to say right now. You ready? It's the illusion of safety, and it's costing businesses thousands of dollars every time the ground gives way. Redundancy is the illusion of safety. It's the illusion of a diverse connection. It's really not a diverse connection. Look, you can see on your screen here, this is a manhole fire. This is an underground manhole fire. That happens all the time. That is why diversity is so important when it comes to connectivity. Think about it for a second. Think about it. What's the solution? The solution here that we're talking about is real diversity that is above ground, that is on top of buildings, that goes back to those same hardened data centers as your traditional underground fiber, but instead it comes into a building from the rooftop, right? And it's totally diverse from that last mile. That's why Natural Wireless built a completely independent path, a completely independent infrastructure through the sky. And when I say through the sky, I don't mean a satellite. Stop with the satellite shtick. It's not. This is ultra low latency. Yes, it works amazing with AI applications, voice video data. It's ultra low latency. It's symmetrical speeds, meaning it's the same upload speed and download speed. And you can get up to 20 gigabytes per second symmetrical speeds. That's a lot. That is a lot of bandwidth. That is a ton of bandwidth. What is fixed wireless fiber? Fixed wireless fiber uses rooftop microwave links. A link are two antennas that point to each other, and that's diversity right there. That's diversity, and it's truly diverse from all the underground last mile issues you'll face with manhole fires. There's no shared conduit. There's no trenching when you use fixed wireless fiber because it's coming to the rooftop of your building. Period. When the ground fails, your business keeps running because your path is built above it. Think about that. If you're an entrepreneur, you're not going to follow the same path everyone else followed. You're making your own path. Why fall for what you already know is not going to work and it is a single point of failure? Entrepreneurs like you, me, and your friends, we don't win by following that same path. We win by building our own path. And luckily for you, Natural Wireless built this pathway in the sky already. So you're not following along. You're tapping into something that's been around for more than 22 years. The diversity, the play is fixed wireless fiber. And learning the difference between redundancy and diversity, unfortunately for some, will cost tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in lost revenue and or brand reputation. All right, what happens if you can't interact with your customers? What happens if your logistics facility loses connectivity and you can't ingest orders, you can't send out orders? Someone else is getting that business, and someone's going to think twice about sending you business in the future if you can't fulfill an order. How do you avoid that? You avoid that by not following the same path, by using fixed wireless fiber, using natural wires. Call them. It's an amazing product. It's not just about uptime. It's about momentum. And, real diversity isn't a buzzword. It's about survival, right? You want your brand to be the pinnacle, right? You can't afford to go offline. If you use AI applications and you can't process agents, you can't do stuff online, that's a serious issue. And what does it cost you every minute, every hour that you're not online? I'll let you figure that part out. In closing, and today's a little bit different than the other podcasts that I usually do. In closing, if your business depends on the connectivity to grow, scale, and sell, it's time to rethink where your internet comes from. Because one path is never enough for entrepreneurs who want to win. I'm talking to you. Yeah. Reach out to Natural Wireless and learn, discover what true path diversity means and what it really looks like. Call today. I'll throw out the number, 212-540-5477. 212-540-5477. And I want to sell it. I just want to educate. But, the purpose of this podcast today is just to approach it differently and appeal to a different segment of our audience. And I do appreciate the thousands of listeners who send me emails monthly. It is a breath of fresh air, and since I've been doing this, I have hundreds of episodes, and I can tell you firsthand that customers are a lot savvier, and let's continue this momentum. And listen, I wish everyone a fantastic 15th of October. And you know what it's time for, people? I'll tell you what it's time for. It's time to go sell something. Go on, get out of here, go sell something.